Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. So this morning it is a exciting topic, right to know the form of the psychic being. That is the topic of our discussion for this morning. So we are little bit aware of the psychic being. We are little bit know the spark soul we know, and of course we are some extent we are aware of the central being Jivatma self. All these things little bit. Of course we are aware of a couple of classes we have attended here. Right now we are going to discuss a brilliant topic that is on form of the psychic being. So how the forms are coming on that we'll have a little discussion from Sri Aurobindo's writing, of course. Exciting topic. Most of you who are pursuing this path of the sadhana, so almost they will be interested to know what is the really how can we be able to know how the form of the psychic must be how. So this topic must be and explained by Sri Aurobindo from his own writing. That's what we are going to see. Anyway, before going to the topic, that's the initial thing. For the maybe some few people will be there who will be knowing. Of course, they will be listening for the first time. For their better understanding, we'll have a little discussion. Of course, introduction on this psychic being. As we know, there is a psychic being, it is behind the heart center. Soul and psychic are the same. So, we'll quote couple of lines from Sri Aurobindo. The psychic being and the divine, that's what initially we'll see, the psychic being and the divine. The divine presence in the heart are two quite different things. Sri Aurobindo quotes initially, psychic being and the divine presence in the heart. That is quite different things. The psychic being is one's own individual soul being. Psychic being is in one's own individual psychic being. It is not the divine, though it has come from the divine, and of course, divine develops in the reverse order in the process of evolution towards the divine. But thing is that these are the two different, quite different things, like psychic being and the divine presence in the heart. So, second quotation we are going to quote from Sri Aurobindo, that is very psychological one. Psychic is constantly in contact with the immanent divine. That is a great word. That has been great explanation being explained by Sri Aurobindo. The master explains here, the psychic is constantly in contact with the immanent divine, the divine secret in the individual. That's what the beautiful definition and a great definition as defined by Sri Aurobindo. So the psychic is constantly in contact with the immanent divine and divine secret in the individual. Again, it is the psychic that is in direct relationship with the transcendent divine. It is the psychic that is in the direct relation with the transcendent divine. We don't know what really the transcendent means, where he is, how to be get related. But the thing is that definitely if you are in contact with the psychic being, if you are aware of the psychic being, and this psychic being is coming out and taking the direct hold of all these things, so you will be understanding better that the psychic is in direct relation with the transcendent divine. Already we have seen personal, impersonal, transcendent, the different formats we have seen. That is the great topic really. With the transcendent divine, to get connected, we must know this psychic that is in direct relation with the transcendent divine, and leads the nature towards the upwards, leads the nature upward to which level? To the divine. So that is the major role of the psychic, and which is in contact with the divine, transcendent divine, and of course it leads the nature upwards towards the supreme. The divine is always in the inner heart and does not leave it. Very interesting, very clear crystal manner we must be able to know the definition. The divine is always in the inner heart and does not leave it. Again, the psychic is not by definition that part of the being which is direct touch with the supramental plane, although it is in connected with the supramental is made. It gives to it the actually great response So here we have seen that psychic, that is an essential part of the transformation, without which it is very difficult, not at all possible. So when we are in contact with the psychic being, and when we are open, and when actually we admit, when we are of course under the influence of the psychic being, and it must come out and take care and lead us towards the in upward way towards the divine. That is the part, that is the real secret. Already we know soul, the spark of the divine begins to develop in the psychic individuality. The spark of the divine, that is soul, begins to develop a psychic individuality, and the psychic individuality is called as psychic being. Again, the soul is always pure, but the knowledge and the force in it are involved and come out only as the psychic being evolves and grows stronger. That is the part, everything is there, but the thing is that everything depends upon the psychic being. It is coming out, it is getting developed, it is growing stronger. With the growth and the development of the psychic, things come to us in a very significant manner. Again, the psychic being is the soul evolving in the course of birth and rebirth, not only in one birth. In the course of birth and rebirth, it is actually evolving, but thing is that this is the same thing. Soul is psychic being is the soul evolving in the course of birth and rebirth, and the soul is the person of the divine, spark of the divine. But with the soul, there is always the veiled divine. That's what the very interesting thing. Again, during the course beautifully, psychic being is the developing soul. Psychic being is the developing soul consciousness, manifested for the created being as it evolves. So couple of things have been added to our understanding by Sri Aurobindo. Number one is psychic being is developing soul consciousness. Developing soul consciousness is the psychic being. How manifested for the created being as it evolves. That is the great thing. At first, the soul is something essential behind the veil. Already we have known. Soul is something essential behind the veil, not developed in front. That is the criteria. Not developed in front. There is only the body, life, and the mind. In the evolution, while it is through the process of evolution, the soul consciousness develops more and more in the created being until it is so developed that it can come entirely in front and govern mind and life and body. Initially, it is governed by mind and life and body, which seems to be the entire thing, and it is in the front. But as the psychic grows, as with the growth and development with the psychic consciousness, soul consciousness, as it develops more and more in the created being, then actually we find psychic being comes to the front and governs mind and life and body. The difference between psychic being and another, that is a great thing, is one of evolution. Things related to evolution, birth, rebirth, again the progress of development like this. The psychic being is more developed in some, but soul principle is the same in all. The psychic being is more developed in some, not in all, in some, but the soul principle is the same in all. Again, the soul and psychic are the same. Already we have quoted, we know. Only there is a vital being supported by the vital. There is a vital being supported by the vital and expressing itself through it. So there is a growing psychic being supported on the psychic and expressing itself through the soul nature. So again we'll go hang it all. There is a difference, there is a question. So Sri Aurobindo quotes hang it all. The psychic is part of the human nature. Psychic is the part of the human nature or the ordinary nature. But it has been there even before the human state began. So it was there, it is growing from birth to birth, it is getting evolved, more and more evolved, it is getting progressing and developing. Again, the topic of discussion what we are supposed to discuss, and we have kept it for discussion, the form of the being. Beautiful topic, and that has been explained by Sri Aurobindo very interesting and a fantastic way. Formed souls enter into the formed organisms. How gloriously it has been glorified by the glorious master. So formed souls will enter only into the formed organisms. Formed the organisms which really are formed, and the formed souls enter into it in the phenomena in the protoplasm, etc. We know, if we go back to the initial phase of this evolution, we know protozoa, porifera, coelenterata, platyhelminthes, hematohelminthes, annelida, arthropoda, chordata, vertebra. Then of course we know that this developed vertebrated being, like because this merudanda, that backbone is there, it has been developed from vertebra. So different and of course developed organism and beings we see on the process of evolution. Again, then this protozoa itself, it is only the spark of the divine that is there, not the formed soul. This is there, here in the course, formed souls enter into the formed organisms. The organisms that are formed and the formed souls enter into it in the protoplasm, etc. It is only the spark of the divine. Already we know soul is the spark of the divine. It is that is there, and not the formed soul. Formed soul, it comes during the process of evolution. It gets developed and comes to the developing state of the soul is known as psychic being, as we have quoted earlier. So this is the thing. Second will go, as there is in us a mind. Already we know there is a mind in us which does not see any form, which does not see any form. It feels it is as will fulfilled and sufficient, but is aware of it, aware of, and of course there is at the same time a mental being which can only see of the form. Mind, actually it is what is known, it never sees the form, but one mental being is there which sees the form. So there is a soul and a psychic being. You know, that's the mental being. It feels and knows it is form, soul, and the psychic being. The soul is the same always. The psychic being develops in the process of evolution. The soul remains same, but the thing is that the psychic being develops in the process of evolution. Again, the soul is not limited by any forms. Very interesting, very clear. Soul is not limited by any form, but the psychic being puts out a form for its expression. Puts out a form for its expression, just as the mental, vital, and the subtle physical Purusha do. That is to say, one can see, or another person can see one's psychic being in such and such form. So it can be, soul has no definite form, but actually psychic is creating form. So if you are conscious, in that consciousness, someone or any other, they can see the consciousness, see the psychic being. Of two kinds. It is of two kinds. Number one, there is the standing standing characteristic form taken by this being in the life, and there are symbolic forms, such as when one sees in the psychic, in the newborn child in the lap of the mother. Two forms here in the course, two kinds. One, standing characteristic form taken by this being in the life, number one. There is symbolic form, standing characteristic of form, number one, and there is symbolic form at the child, at the kid, newborn kid sitting on the lap of the mother. So again, here in the little bit clarifies here. If the sadhaka is really saw his psychic being in the form of the woman, initially the question is put that he saw the psychic being in the form of the woman. Mother Sri Aurobindo clarifies, it can only have been a constructed appearance expressing some quality or attitude of the psychic. So this is the constructed appearance expressing some quality or attitude of the psychic. Again, finally, Sri Aurobindo comes to quote, the psychic being has a form, definitely clarifies, but that does not appear in the photo. If you take photo, it can be a person, photo of a person. The psychic has always or usually a form closely resembling that of the psychic body, physical body. Does not always or usually a form, but the psychic has not always or usually a form closely resembling the physical body. It is sometimes even quite different. When looking for the photo, when you take the photos, physical body and all, then unless otherwise you have the yogic vision, very difficult to visualize. What is seen is not a form, but something of the consciousness that is expressed in the body or comes through somehow on one perceives or feels that it is through the photo. So anyway, to see it, it needs the yogic vision, sadhana vision. And initially when with the newborn child, you can find, if you look at the eyes, his eyes are looking brighter and brighter. Then after he grows up, this when that time you will feel that it is the psychic is more glorified, it is coming to the front, it is very much prominent. But as the kid grows up, intellectually develops, then naturally the psychic goes to the backside, and the intellectual and all so many arts are developing, so psychic is getting going behind the veil. Anyway, this is a great topic. I think it will be useful in our analysis and of course in our pursuance of the sadhana. Vande Mataram.